Today, Baba is asking us to pay attention that this is the time for karmic settlement, and our goal is to settle our karmic accounts. Yes, now we have to first understand what does karmic settlement mean. We souls have had a journey of 84 births. And in these 84 births, in the last 63 births, we were under the influence of Ravan or the vices. And under the influence of vices, we created many accounts of sin, pap karma. Now, we don't, so Baba gives us the knowledge. Sometimes we don't even have the understanding how, acts of lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed are creating accounts of sin. But Baba says every thought, word, and act under the influence of body consciousness and lust, anger, ego, attachment have greed, have created an account of sin on our part. So just like, in the world, they maintain a credit and debit account. So it's all, in our accounts, there is a lot of debit right now. Now, Baba says, this is the only time when Baba is giving us the knowledge and the yoga power. So Baba says, I'm giving you the knowledge and I'm teaching you Raj Yoga. And with the power of remembrance of Baba, with the power of yoga, and with the power of knowledge, you can settle your accounts now. Now, what happens when these karmic accounts that we have created, how do they manifest? So, all the karmic accounts that we have created, they manifest in the form of situations and conditions which make us feel pain, sorrow, suffering, and obstacles on the path of this spiritual effort. So, as much as is our karmic account of the last 63 births, that amount of adverse situations and behaviors and physical and mental illnesses and obstacles on this path of spiritual effort come up. So even the obstacles that we face, or when you want to get up at Amrit Vela and you're not able to get up at Amrit Vela, or you're not able to concentrate in Baba's remembrance, and there is a lot of upheaval in the mind, or there is a sleep that's troubling you, even that is because of the past karmic accounts. Or you are getting distracted while you are reading or listening to the Murli, that is also past karmic accounts. And apart from that, there are other things like physical pain, emotional pain, conditions where there is lack of money and resources, or there is a person around you who has very different sanskars from you, and you're always having a tendency to take sorrow from them. So their way of speaking, behaving, it makes you uncomfortable, it makes you sorrowful. So all of these, and then physical pain, which is a very big aspect of the past karmic accounts. So there are illnesses which give you a lot of pain, and if you try to take the painkiller, then it has side effects and other things. So all those, then you have to make a choice between how much painkillers to take, or how much steroids to take, and how much pain to endure. Because if you don't endure, you end up taking all the painkillers and all the steroids, and then you have after effects of that. So this is pain, and this pain, suffering, sorrow, obstacles. And then these days, a very big form of suffering is suffering of the mind. Yes, so even if nobody can see it, there is the sadness or the depression or the hopelessness or the tiredness that you're feeling inside, or lack of zeal, lack of enthusiasm, lack of happiness. So all of that suffering is also because of past karmic accounts. Now you see, there are many souls in the world today who say, I do not know why this is happening, but I'm not feeling happy, or I'm feeling, very weighed down, or there is intense fear in the mind, or there's no reason for fear. They are themselves saying there's no reason for fear, but there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of suffering in the mind because of that. And all of this is because of these 63 births of karmic settlements. And Baba says, now you have to understand one thing, that you settle these accounts when they come through the power of knowledge and yoga. And only you have knowledge, and you are learning Raj Yoga. Do you understand that in this whole wide world, we are the only children, only fortunate children who have Baba's knowledge and who know the method of remembering Baba. Now, it is not that, we only have access to it. Everybody is being given access. The courses are free, the classes are free, everybody is being invited all the time. There are so many, we upload constantly on channels and social media and everything. But the interesting thing is, still we are the only fortunate ones listening to it and understanding it. So it's not because Baba has made sure, or Baba has made the effort to reach out to every child, but still Baba says, only those who have the fortune of receiving this knowledge every cycle will get it. Other people are not getting it. So now you have to understand that we are the most fortunate ones, and now we have to, at least, we have the opportunity to settle our karmic accounts, because these karmic accounts can only be settled through the power of knowledge and yoga. Okay, now Baba says, use the power of knowledge to change your attitude towards karmic accounts. Okay, so you see, when you change your attitude, you can change an experience of sorrow and suffering into an experience of happiness. Yes, just like, so for example, little children, when they are small, they are not afraid of snakes or anything. And they actually, if you there have been experiments where children very lovingly, they will carry a snake and they will play with animals. And so fear is not originally there, but then when they grow up, they are informed that this is a thing of fear, and then parents teach that you have to stay away from this, and then that knowledge changes their attitude, that this is something fearful, and then they start experiencing the fear which was not there earlier. So knowledge changes your attitude, and attitude changes your experience. So up until now, you see, our attitude towards these situations and conditions that are coming up for settlement, our attitude was that it shouldn't come, it's a bad thing, and I have to resist it, right? Is that the attitude? Yes, you ask, why is this happening, right? So whenever an illness comes up, or you're not feeling good, or you're feeling sad or fearful, or there is a difficult sanskar that you have to deal with, or there is a difficult situation in the immediate circumstances, then our immediate attitude was, why is this there? And I have to make it go away, correct? And so you are resisting it. So we used to have an adversarial relationship with all difficult situations, or with all situations which did not make us comfortable, and we were trying to resist them. Now the law says whatever you resist will persist. Yes, so when you resist something, it grows. Do you understand that? You resist, you have hair fall, you resist it. You're thinking, why am I having hair fall? Why am I having hair fall? More hair fall. Okay, so so anything you resist, why is there pain? Why is there pain? Because whenever you are resisting something, you are thinking about it. You are paying attention to it. And the law is, wherever attention goes, energy flows and that thing grows. So whatever you are paying attention to is receiving your energy. Any negativity, any adversity, the more you pay attention to it, the more it is growing. It's not going away. So, nothing goes away by wishing it to go away. It's not like if you wish something to go away, it's going to go away. It doesn't work like that. So Baba says, for knowledge makes you understand that these situations or these karmic accounts that are coming up are good. Why? Because if it doesn't come up, how will it get settled? Yes, so do you want to settle karmic accounts, or do you want to avoid it? If you avoid them, they are not going to go away. They will keep multiplying. So you have to settle them. Yes, so if you keep avoiding the exam, so there are children who keep avoiding the exam, right? But if you keep avoiding the exam, then how do you get promoted to the next class? That's not happening. So Baba says you have to understand that now that we have to go to the new world, now that we have to have a fresh start again, these old karmic settlements have to be, done away with. So when they are coming up, you don't have the attitude of resistance. You have the attitude that, okay, when they are coming, I have to deal with them and settle them. Have you changed that attitude in the light of knowledge? Yes, so obstacles, problems, situations are not bad. They are good. They have come so that you can cross them and go to the next stage. So knowledge tells us that obstacles and adverse situations, they come to give you the gift of experience. They come to get settled. So that is your attitude according to knowledge. Is it so? Yes, you see anybody in the world, when they cross obstacles, they go to the next stage. So never resist obstacles or adversity. They give you the gift of experience, and they also, without coming in front of you, they cannot get settled. So our attitude, the attitude of a knowledgeful souls towards adversity and obstacles is very positive. So we don't see them as negative. And however many challenges you face, the more experienced you become. So, if you have dealt with something, you become so experienced that you can also teach others how to deal with it. Yes, so I'll tell you one thing. So there was this sister, and she used to share her experience that when earlier she used to get very disturbed if her family members, they did not pay attention to her and they ignored her. But once she understood that this is a karmic settlement and this adversity is because of my past karmic accounts, she started using the yoga power to be at peace, be at happiness in the same situation. And then she said, I have met at least 5 to 6 people in my life who were in a similar situation, and I guided them how to go through that situation. So you see that if you allow adversity to teach you, yes, rather than break you, then that experience will make you a teacher for others. That experience will make you a guiding light for others. And so many people get inspired by those who are able to cross adversity in a good stage. Have you seen people who cross adversity, maybe physical disability or any limitation of the body or a big disease or something? When they go onto the stage and they share their experience of how they crossed it with, spiritual power, or they crossed it with faith, or they crossed it with tolerance. So then so many other people who are in that situation are inspired. So Baba says, you have to become experienced in order to be inspirational. And how do you become experienced? If you resist adversity and resist obstacles. You see, Brahma Baba is able to guide us in every situation, because, and you see, we get so many inputs from the Murli of how to cross a particular situation. And how did Brahma Baba come up with all those methods? Because he faced all of it on his own. So Brahma Baba became very experienced because he understood that these karmic settlements are coming up to be settled and to make me experienced. Then second attitude that changes is that, these karmic settlements, through knowledge we understand that we are going to the world of happiness. So the happiness of the new world, that kind of merges the sorrow and suffering and pain of the karmic settlements that are coming up. Yes, have you seen that if there is a greater happiness that you are feeling about something, then you don't feel the sorrow of something else. Have you seen that? So let's say you have won a lottery and then, there is a toothache that day. You don't feel that toothache very much because you understand that happiness is, that consciousness is so clouded by happiness that you don't feel this pain. So Baba gives us many happy news. Baba tells us that, the first happy news is I'm with Baba and I have all attainments through Baba at this time. And then second happy news is that I'm going to go to the world, new world. Very, very few days are remaining. Yes, and then you will go to the new world where you will have everything. There is no challenge, no adversity. Everything is in harmony with you. And you see, there was this one Mata, and she very happily came and told me, Didi, we are shifting into a rented apartment. And she had a big house here. So I thought, why is she so happy about shifting to a rented apartment? And I asked, why are you shifting to a rented apartment? So she said, Didi, my house is under renovation. So, we are making it bigger and better and more equipped with all facilities. So that's why we are just shifting to a rented apartment for 1 year. Now you see, the happiness of having a bigger, better house after 1 year is so great that she's not feeling the pain of living in a rented house, small apartment for 1 year. So the thing is, when you have this happiness, it merges the feeling of pain and sorrow and suffering. And Baba says, I am giving you the news that makes you most happy. First is you are sitting in Baba's lap right now. There is nothing unattained at this moment. Whatever you want from Baba, you can take. And second is tomorrow you're going to a world where there is physically and materially also nothing unattained. So if you just stay in awareness of this point of happiness, then you will be able to cross, all the feelings of sorrow and suffering and pain. And Baba says, these two things, this is knowledge. And knowledge makes you, be in a state of happiness in the face of adversity and obstacles also, because you view it differently. And this is very important because, you cannot remember Baba in a state of sorrow. Do you understand that? When you are sorrowful, your remembrance changes into prayer. So when somebody is sorrowful, they cannot remember Baba. They can only call out to Baba in sorrow. And that is not remembrance. Remembrance means you are in a happy, peaceful state and connecting to Baba and drawing light and might. But sorrow means you're crying and wailing. And then you don't have a connection with Baba. You are not soul conscious. If you're not soul conscious, you cannot remember Baba. So Baba says, when you change your attitude towards adversity and you are peaceful and happy in the face of adversity and obstacles, at that time you can remember Baba. And when you remember Baba, any adversity, you can cross it with Baba's help, because Baba's remembrance fills you with power, the power to discern, the power to decide, the power to make decisions, the power to tolerate, the power to face, the power to, withdraw. So all these powers, they emerge when you are in remembrance of Baba. And you need these powers to settle karmic accounts. Yes, if you don't have the power to tolerate, then how will you settle karmic accounts? You will react in that situation. Okay, and you have to understand that when you are sorrowful, you take sorrow, give sorrow. There is a reaction. And then you are, instead of settling the karmic account, you are intensifying it, you are making it worse. So, in order to settle karmic accounts, it is very important that you are happy and peaceful in the face of adversity and obstacles. And you see, when you are even walking on this path of spiritual effort, then there are so many obstacles you face. I remember there was this one sister, she was a Kumari, and when she came into Gyan, her father would lock her up in the room so that she doesn't go to the center. And she said, that one day I got so irritated with my father's behavior that I tried to break open the door by banging against it. And then what happened is she damaged her hand. She had bruises on her hand. And so if you try to react to karmic settlements, if there is an obstacle and you are getting irritated because of it, you are not able to endure and be sane and peaceful in the face of it, then you will react, and that will make it worse. So though the door is still not open, but your hand is also fractured. Yes, so you have to understand that when there are karmic settlements coming, being hasty, being impatient, being angry, being desperate, being irritated, complaining, whining, they don't help. So if you do all of that, if you're not able to be at peace, then you will make it worse. So, if there is one person who is in authority and you cannot handle their tantrums, then what happens? They will use their authority and come after you. If you react, they will come after you and make it worse. So you have to understand that there are karmic settlements and there are power equations involved in them. And if you don't have the patience and peace and joy and perseverance, you will make it worse. So, or you have an illness and then you are not able to endure the pain, then that physical illness will change into a mental illness also. So maybe after some time you will, with the help of medicines and surgery, you will get over the physical illness. But what about the damage you did to your mind because of not being able to tolerate the pain? So that will make it change, make it a mental illness then. So Baba says the only method to not make it worse is to endure it first, is to use knowledge and create that attitude where you are able to, not resist it, not react to it. And second is pull Baba's power to tolerate, to face, to, discern what to do, decide what to do, and then act and make it go away. Some situations just need the power to tolerate. You have to tolerate them as long as they don't decide to leave themselves. And there are some situations where you have to do something about it. And there the power to discern, decide, and the power to face come up. So Baba says this is how you settle karmic accounts. And then finally, Baba says it is very important to settle karmic accounts because you are the sticks for the blind. Yes, so if you are using up all your mental, physical, spiritual energy to just deal with your own karmic accounts, there, and you keep doing that all this confluence age, then who is going to serve the world and give Baba's introduction and help souls come out of their predicament? So Baba says you have to be sticks for the blind. So you have to use the power of knowledge and yoga to be okay in the face of karmic settlements. And even when they are there, you are able to do your service. You are able to serve despite physical conditions and financial conditions and, mental conditions. I remember, dadis, Brahma Baba, Mama, they all served even the doctors who were treating their bodies when they were settling karmic accounts through the body. And when they used to go to the hospital for some karmic settlement of the body to get treated, then, they were never in, discomfort. Their faces were shining in happiness and peace, and they could serve even while they were settling their own karmic accounts. So Baba says, your buddhi should work 100%. Your face should never lose happiness. Your mouth should never speak angry, bitter words. And when you are able to maintain that stage, because Baba says, some children think that, okay, when my karmic accounts will get settled, then one fine morning I will do seva. But no, until the end, this will keep coming up. So when they keep coming up, in the midst of that, you have to serve through your words, through your face, through your resources, through your spiritual stage. And only when you are able to use the power of knowledge and yoga to be in a happy, peaceful, knowledgeful, powerful stage, despite all the things that are going on around you, then you will be able to serve and be the stick for the blind. So this is what Baba is saying. And today Baba also talks about one thing. Baba says, if you make a mistake, then instantly tell Baba. Yes, so Baba says that we have 63 births of sanskars, and then whenever we are in remembrance, Maya is not able to deceive us. Have you seen that? Yes, so there are many times when you feel angry, but you're able to control and not express that in word and action because you're in Baba's remembrance. And there are some times when you are not in Baba's remembrance and you react. And same with lust and, attachment and ego and everything. So Baba says that understand that Maya is able to deceive you, not because Maya is powerful, but because you're not in remembrance. So try to be in remembrance so that, even if storms come, you don't act out of them. Yes, so there are many times, when thoughts of lust also, they cross the mind, or, there are storms. But if you are in remembrance of Baba, then sanity will prevail and you will not allow that thought to become an act. But if you are not in remembrance, then what happens is Maya deceives you. And then you commit a sin. And then Baba says that once you commit the sin, don't keep it to yourself. Just give it to Baba, honestly share it with Baba. Write a message and let the instrument know That's the method to tell Baba. And when you have given it to Baba, then there is a realization. And then you get Baba's help. You will see that when you give your sin to Baba, that this happened, and you do it with realization, then next time in a similar situation, you receive greater help. So Baba says that don't commit a sin and then keep it to yourself. You have to instantly tell, and note that only when you are not in remembrance of Baba is Maya able to deceive you. And another thing Baba says is instantly tell. There are many children who act very smart. So, when they commit the mistake, they will not say it. They will not give it. But when they are caught, or when they understand that I will be caught, then they will share it. Not because they are being honest, but because they are just manipulating other people around them. So I remember there was this one brother, and he got into a lustful relationship with another, with a girl, and he was a kumar coming to center, and then he never told this. He never said that I'm in this relationship, or I'm engaging in acts which are against Srimad. But one day, one person from the family, they saw him, and then they could figure out that something is going on. And then before he came and told, this person came and told. And then he's saying that I said it, I was honest, I told you. So I said, but when did you tell me? After 6 months. And why? Because you knew that we are going to find out. This is not honesty, this is double cheating. You are trying to fool everybody. So this is not honesty. You have to understand that when you are honest, the sign of honesty is you share instantly. Not when the after effects are coming and you're scared this will happen, that will happen, or not when consequences are coming, or not when you are afraid that you will get caught. So a child who is honest, Baba says, yes, there are times when you are not in remembrance, and you have sanskars of vices, so you will commit sins, but instantly you share it with Baba. And when you do that, you will receive help, because Baba loves an honest heart, and Baba helps an honest heart. So then you will receive help, and you will not be able to fall prey to Maya. You will not fall prey to Maya the next time. Okay? Om Shanti. Anybody wants to share anything, please do.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Yesterday, my Lokik's sister was scolding my father. How are you old? How are you behaving? See her. She is so younger than you, and still she always keeps smiling. How she is welcoming. Why can't you do that? Then I came to know that, okay, they are noticing all these things.
Yes.
And our practice is making it good.
Yes. Yes.
People notice it.
Yes.
This one thing I wanted to share with you.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
But don't get too happy, okay? Om Shanti. Because what happens is, when we get too happy about the attainments from our yoga and effort, then it is like eating the fruit. Yes, and then that fruit becomes less for future, future attainment. So don't get too happy. Just know and then let go. Okay. Connected with this, I will tell you another thing. Sometimes you have a very good experience in yoga. Yes, and then you get too happy because of that. And then you run around and tell people, I had very good experience. And then the next day you don't have any experience. You feel sleepy and miserable in yoga. So this is the law. So, whatever attainment you have, just know that it's okay. And I'm entitled to this. So all these things will happen, not a big deal. Okay? Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Baba, since today, whatever I'm teaching you, you help me remember each and everything. What
Correct.
you need to forget is the old world and the relations to the own body and your past patterns, that is sanskars.
Correct. Correct. So that is why Baba says when you remember knowledge, it will change your attitude. Yes, if you don't remember knowledge, then you will know everything, but your attitude will be the same. So remember knowledge, and you will remember knowledge only when you forget the old world, because the disk is full of old information, new knowledge doesn't settle in. Okay, all right. Om Shanti. Let's thank Baba for some time. I go back to the awareness that Baba, the treasure house, is showering me with his treasures. Baba has given me the treasure of his inheritance of heaven. I am Baba's child. Baba, my father, is the creator of heaven. And tomorrow, I'm going to rule in that world of purity, peace, joy, and abundance. As I sit in awareness of my Baba's treasures, my heart is full of happiness. Just sit with these thoughts for some time.